Not a lot has changed. I still really love skiing. I still go out there and build my own jumps, whether it's for filming or to slide down handrails in a city, and still pretty similar mentality when it comes to skiing. It feels pretty good when it all comes together on the first one. Takes a little bit of the edge off. Wish I could have followed it up with an even better run after, but you kind of have this big adrenaline come down after landing your first run. So usually it doesn't work out for me that way. Usually I land my stuff in like the last run. So it felt good to get it done on the first one. I think it's just the rarity of the Olympics. You know, every 4 years you get one shot. A lot of these other events we're doing a handful a season, or at least once a season. So it just kind of elevates the stakes a little bit. All the stars kind of got to align on this day, that week, whatever it is. You got to be on your A game for the right time. So there's slopestyle skiing and big air skiing. Big air is one big jump, and you get usually 3 runs to land your 2 best tricks. They have to be slightly different. And then slopestyle is a series of jumps and a series of rails kind of all tied together into one run. You got to make it down this whole course in one piece, and you got to execute it flawlessly while spinning different ways, flipping different ways, and also hopefully having some cool, fun, creative stuff as well. There's some pretty big jumps in there. I think like the smallest jumps usually we're going off are at least 60 feet just to get to the landing, so we're usually going 80 or more. And then the rails are like another, they're usually 30, 40, 50 feet long, so you got to balance at the end of them, and it's not always easy to perfectly slide to the end of the rail. So it's a lot of factors playing to slopestyle for all the stars that align to get a perfect run. I don't know about opposite sides, but they're spaced out enough. Obviously, I think we do slopestyle first, get a couple days off, and then big air next. So, but by the time we do all the practice days for both events, it pretty much spans most of the Olympics. So we'll be there for a while. It all starts somewhere. For me, it started off just having fun with my brother and my friends, skiing the local little resorts near where I grew up in Switzerland. Nothing extravagant, no big terrain parks, none of that stuff. And then a big part of it was my dad bought us a little trampoline for the backyard, so I started learning to do a couple flips on that thing, get my air awareness up. And then also, we had a hill behind our house, and it'd snow every now and then, and I built a bunch of rails out of old wood scraps and PVC pipes I'd find in junkyards, and kind of just nailed them together and built a little terrain park so I could ski after schools, because we didn't live close enough to ski resorts after school. So after school, I'd ski on the hill behind the house when there was snow, and then weekends we'd go up to the resorts.
Do you ever look back at that kid and wonder what that kid would think of you now? Like building your own terrain park for the most part in your backyard to what you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, that kid would be pretty surprised I'm sitting where I'm sitting. He'd be pretty proud, I think, but not a lot has changed. I still really love skiing. I still go out there and build my own jumps, whether it's for filming or to slide down handrails in a city, and still pretty similar mentality when it comes to skiing. How do you keep up, or how do you stay ahead of the curve? Definitely. Think about that all the time. That's just kind of, part of what freestyle skiing is about. It's such a young sport that it's just constantly going up and up and up and up. So for you to stay ahead of the curve or keep up with the curve, it's tough. You spend a lot of time on snow. You better make sure you love it, because if you don't love it, you're not going to want to ski enough to stay good at it. So for me, luckily, it's kind of been a natural progression of just my career and staying in the flow of things. I've never had to think about it too much in that sense, but you're always trying to figure out the next trick, trying to figure out how you put a twist on things. What trick could you do better? What's the move you want to work on for next year? So that stuff you're thinking about it, but it comes naturally if you love the sport enough,
And sometimes establishing a trick, right? Like coming up with something.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big part of the game. It's always hardest to come up with it. People will follow if you come up with it, but being the inventor is always going to be the toughest part. So that's not easy, but you try your best to think of new things.
That'd be a good feeling to come up with one.
Yeah. I've done it a couple times.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
And then everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to try that.
Yep, that'll happen sometimes. But it's a compliment is what it is. People want to follow in your steps, and I think the main thing is you make something look fun, and if you make it look fun, your other competitors are going to want to try it, and you're going to inspire kids around the world to do it. So if you're trying something new, making it look new and having fun doing it, that's kind of how you're going to get the most people following you, I guess. Speaking for myself, I don't follow a lot of these sports that closely, whether it's summer or winter. I focus on myself, on my skiing, but when I'm at the Olympics, I'm going to cheer for my random teammate who I met who does curling or hockey, which I don't know much about, but I was able to meet them, hear about their story, and I'm going to root for them as a person. So I love that, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty special getting to represent your country on a stage like that, and wouldn't consider myself as like the most, gung-ho, patriotic, like in-your-face person, but when I'm at the Olympics, I'm proud to represent the U.S. I want to show what I can do as a person and hopefully bring it on a big stage, and I think it's something that hopefully people can get behind as, whether it's an athlete or the whole team, the whole U.S. team.
And then if you're lucky, hear that national anthem and see that flag hoisted higher than the rest, which you've done.
Yeah, maybe if you get lucky, that'll happen. We'll see.
Put in enough work.
Exactly.
And get lucky.
Yes, exactly. Bit of both. It's always a lot of work and a bit of luck.
Do you have your cell phone on you? Is my last question.
Yeah.
What, if you don't mind sharing, or maybe you don't, but we're asking athletes what's on their, like, just their home screen.
I got nothing fun. You can see it, but it's boring, unfortunately.
Sometimes that's what we hear, and then it's like, oh.
Tell me that's not boring.
Is that the stock picture?
That's the stock.
You haven't even changed it.
It's just stock.
You got nothing going on that you want to put it.
That's what it is.
Like not even a picture of you winning gold.
No, I would never put that on there. That feels weird to have yourself on there. If I'd put like a picture of a mountain or one of my goofy friends or my girlfriend or something, but definitely not myself with a medal.
My Lord, you got a girlfriend and she's not on your phone?
I know, right? I'm screwing up. I'm screwing up. It's good though, then you keep all the fun things off your phone. You spend a little less time on your phone and more time checking out what's happening in the real world.
Present in reality.
Trying to.
Less screen.
Easier said than done.